What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream here on my channel. This is going to be a special one. We are going to be talking about the series that I just finished last week, Cobra Kai, baby.
Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai never dies.
So you watched it for the very first time, like you binged all 5 seasons last week?
Yep, I started it on Wednesday and I finished it on Saturday.
What took you so long to watch it, man?
I wanted to wait till the. At first, I wanted to wait till the hype died down, and then everybody was hyping up season 5. So I was like, you know what? I'll get you guys to shut up. I'm just gonna watch it then.
Nice. Well, better
So,
late than never, man. I'm glad you finally checked it out.
yep. And if you guys couldn't tell, I have a guest with me to here to talk about Cobra Kai because he also just
Oh
finished
yeah.
season 5. Um, he's no one new to my channel. He is a very good friend of mine, and I've been on his channel a couple of times before. I'm glad to have him back on. It's my boy Zach.
Hey guys, what's going
What's,
on? I
what's
don't know
going
why I
on,
did the
Zach?
double wave. That's like the most awkward thing you could do. Oh
What's
well,
going
it's
on,
live.
Zach?
Can't take it back. Pretty good. I'm doing pretty well. How you doing, man?
Doing great. Just had a little day at home. Just another chill day. So
Nice. My day's been a little bit busier, but I'm so happy to be here talking some Cobra Kai.
yes, sir. And just to let you guys know how this is going to pan out, we are going to be talking about the series in spoiler form. So if you guys have not seen Cobra Kai, put the stream on watch later and come back to the replay after you finished it because there's no way you're going to be able to get through this entire show in one day. Like, not one way.
Not unless you're dedicated.
You dedicate all 24 hours just to go through the one show.
Yeah, I mean they only have 10 episodes, and I think the longest they go is 45 minutes. Usually, the last episode is 45 minutes. So
Yeah, the finale of each season is 45 minutes. So
2 days tops, you guys can do it.
yeah. And also, we are going to be ranking all 5 seasons. Obviously, these are all our opinions. So if they're not basically what you have, just calm down. It's our opinions. So, but before we get started talking about the series in spoiler form, Zach, what did you think of Cobra Kai like overall?
Overall,
Yeah.
I think it is the most underrated legacy sequel. I like people always talk about legacy sequels. You got the Star Wars, the Force Awakens, and all, and like even Creed from Rocky. I think the thing that makes Cobra Kai the best for me is that Karate Kid was a franchise that I always liked. I really liked the first film, the 1984 one. The sequels were always just kind of like for me. I definitely liked 2 more than 3. I thought 3 was awful. But what Cobra Kai does is it makes those 3 films retrospectively like better. Like I care about those characters more than I've ever cared about them. Their stories are so much more interesting in Cobra Kai, I feel. Seeing where they go. Like you bring in Chosen in season 3, I think they brought in Chosen
Yep. Season 3.
from Karate Kid 2, which I never thought we'd see him back. And they bring in Terry Silver, like from Karate Kid 3, the worst of the franchise in my opinion, and they made this like one of the most compelling villains in this universe. Just the way they've built upon it, and also introduced a new generation of Karate Kids is it's honestly it's brilliant. It's brilliantly done. I don't think it could be done any better. It's fantastic for what it is.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. I mean, again, I'm very late to the party on it, but again, better late than never. So,
At least you didn't have to wait. I think it was like 2 years in between season 2 and season 3. That was a
yeah.
long wait.
Yeah. I mean, well, then in the next couple of years, we're supposed to have another like Karate Kid movie that follows off of the show.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you talking about the one that they announced for 2024?
Yep.
Yeah, they've said that that doesn't involve anything from Cobra Kai. I don't know what they're doing with that movie, to be honest. But one of the creators of Cobra Kai came out and said that they have no involvement, and it's not about those kids. So I don't know what they're thinking with that. But
Okay, then I won't watch it then.
I mean, we'll see what they do. I have to wait for a trailer for sure. But it's fascinating that Cobra Kai, when you look at the roots of the series, it started as a YouTube Red show. Like I remember watching the first episode, and I find the first season a little shaky with the acting a little bit. I think that William Zabka, who plays Johnny, was a little rusty coming back to the character and acting in some ways in the first season. And when I watched that episode on YouTube Red, it was free at the time. I did find it a little shaky, but after YouTube Red, I think they canceled it and Netflix decided to pick it up. That's when I think the show got real. Season 2 was still YouTube Red, but like Netflix just took it to a whole nother level.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, this is going to be a very fun show to talk about. Once again, this is spoiler filled, so might want to leave the stream if you guys have not seen Cobra Kai and just get on Netflix and watch it.
Or just mute us. Come on, give Luke the views.
Yeah, you wish. But let's hit the chat here really quick. I mean, already saw a few of your comments already, so.
Oh, what? What do you mean?
I don't know what, because like I think you commented a few things on here. But I see we got Movies and Train Studios in here. What is going on? Always a loyal subscriber here.
What's up, Movies and Trains?
All right, so without any further ado, we're going to quit rambling on. We're just going to get to the series review. So basically, we're going to pinpoint some important things about the show, obviously, since this is spoiler filled. So how season 1 starts out basically is Johnny's life as
a bum.
A bum, basically. He's basically an alcoholic at this point.
It's hilarious because he's like in his 50s. I think he's in his 50s at this point, late 40s for sure, and he can't get over a kick that he took when he was like 15 years old.
Yeah, after Daniel literally beat him at a karate match. And basically he's kind of a slub right now because he's been trying to look for a job. And he gets fired from one of his jobs after literally thinking that after his boss literally had a call from the customer saying that they called him a bitch.
Should have put the TV on the other wall, man.
Yeah, but he said, stop bitching about it. And I was like, did you just call me a bitch? And I was like, whoa. Slow your roll here. Listen carefully. Like,
yeah. Classic miscommunication, but it sets Johnny off on a pretty great journey.
Yep, and then one day he meets the kid named Miguel, and basically, it goes back to his dojo days. Basically, when Kreese was his dojo, and he becomes the new mentor to Miguel, and then we also get back to Daniel, who actually runs a car dealership.
Bonsai.
Hey.
Chopping down the prices or whatever his catchphrase is.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, it's really a great setup too. Getting Johnny as the almost like the Mr. Miyagi role of the series in this first season with Miguel being the weak kid being picked on and Johnny being the mentor in his own style, so to speak. I thought it was an interesting take to take that character.
Basically, in some way, with John Kreese's style, but I mean, let's say he's less of a jerk than John Kreese is. Let's just say that, like,
yeah, slightly less.
I mean, Johnny was like, I don't know, man. He was definitely a bum when I looked at him when the show started. I was like, bro, you got serious problems. Like,
yeah.
But then, obviously, when he met Miguel, that's when everything started to kind of take a boost for him, kind of remembering himself again and what he used to do when he was a teenager. And yeah, I mean, especially when Miguel starts at this new school. Yeah, he's been getting picked on quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, that first episode, those first 2 episodes are pretty smart too because they start with Johnny and giving us Johnny's perspective and getting us on Johnny's side in the first episode. And when you're on Johnny's episode, when he runs into Daniel, they kind of let you see how Johnny sees Daniel as the bully, as the jerk from Johnny's perspective. And in the second episode, we start off with Daniel And in that episode, they let you see Daniel's perspective of Johnny and why he thinks he's a jerk. So you totally understand where both parties are coming from, much more than you did in the first Karate Kid, where it was solely just Johnny's the jerk and Daniel's the kid in need. The way that they play on that dynamic in this show and let you see, like, no, both people think the same of each other, and you understand why is fantastic.
And you get to see it from both of their perspectives. Obviously, you don't get to just see it from
Mm-hmm.
one perspective, saying like, "Oh, like you get like," because you think you'd be seeing it from Johnny's perspective, since because the show is called Cobra Kai, but no, it's actually told from both of their perspectives.
Yeah,
And
they kind of allow each one to be the protagonist and the antagonist in their own ways to each other.
I mean, especially with the kids, when you actually go to like to when you go to the school and you see obviously them getting bullied and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you see these guys, and obviously we're introduced to Daniel's daughter Sam, who, I'm not gonna lie, she got better as the series progressed, in my opinion. But it's just she kind of just started as this like disposable character that was just like, okay, you're just the daughter of the guy that basically kicked the bully's butt back in the 80s. So what am,
Yeah.
what am I supposed to know?
Yeah, I mean, she goes on a pretty great journey herself, becoming a karate expert and all that. But what I like about this first season, going back to what you kind of touched on with the kids, um, the way they subvert your expectations, because we get introduced to Hawk, Dimitri, all these guys that are, and Miguel, who are the nerds. They're getting picked on in school, much like how Daniel was in the first Karate Kid movie. But they're the ones that will eventually become the bullies. They take the nerds that are usually the ones that are picked on and make them the ones that are the ones picking on the other kids. And I thought that was a really interesting way to go with that, and made it much more of a fascinating character to follow.
Yeah, exactly. And especially like when they're in the library and basically, I think his name is Kyler, and his group of bullies are basically beating up on Miguel, Dimitri, and Hawk. Um, and Sam sees this in the library, so I'm like, I think it's time you break up with Kyler,
Yeah.
because like, bro, if I saw like, bro, imagine like I was in her position and I saw like I saw like my significant other basically beating up somebody, I would have to have a talk with them, obviously.
Yeah, that's not okay. Dumping
No.
yogurt in his backpack. That was a lot of yogurt too. That poor kid when he pulls out that book and it's just lathered in it.
Yeah, that was so wrong, dude. I was just like, oh no. God, bro. And
Ah,
especially,
Dimitri.
yeah, I feel bad for Dimitri. I mean, I love Dimitri in the show. He is hilarious. I mean, we can also definitely talk about the characters as we go along
Yeah,
with the
because
show. We're definitely
Dimitri's one that has a nice character arc as well. I like that he gets to be a karate person as well.
and he
It took
has
some time to get there, but
yeah, and he has like some of these like analogies that basically are also kind of pop culture references, and I'm just like, perfect.
yeah.
Like, that's what made Dimitri such a great character for me, was because of the way he talks about things and makes his plans about anything. Like, that was what made him a great character. And I think later into the season, we're also introduced to Johnny's son, Robbie.
Robbie. Love Robbie.
Now, at first, he gets kicked out of school because he was doing drugs, smoking marijuana.
He's a delinquent,
So
posing in a Best Buy employee outfit to steal laptops.
he was working at a pawn shop, actually.
Was it a pawn shop? Okay.
Yeah, because it was a pawn shop, because that was the one that Johnny kept going back to in later seasons, trying to trade in some stuff, and I was like, "Oh, your stuff is not valuable, so get the hell out of here."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Shut up! He's got plenty of valuable stuff in that box." I
Did he? It wasn't great.
mean, he had
That
a
magazine that
I
was
mean,
like from 1980.
he had a computer in there. I mean, that's pretty valuable.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love how Johnny's just like he's stuck in the 80s, like literally. Like he doesn't know what the internet is. He does not care about PC talk or anything, which I, I thought was really funny, especially in the first couple of seasons. Like he just doesn't give a crap. He'll just say whatever ever he wants that goes against the social conducts.
And especially like when if you like he's like whenever he thinks that people are saying like the wrong thing to them, that's kind of when he kind of goes off a little bit. And I'm like because sometimes like when because I feel like they're saying the wrong thing too, but like don't ever say that kind of crap to Johnny because he'll beat you up.
And that's what kind of made partnering him up with Miguel so great, is because Miguel is the one that kind of pushes back against him with that stuff and teaches him about what the world is like now, and he just doesn't accept it, and they go back and forth. It's pretty great dynamic.
Yeah, exactly. And then especially that fight sequence in the cafeteria between Miguel and Kyler when Kyler's basically spreading false rumors about Sam and with his crew of bullies because Sam dumped him at the movie theater.
Yep,
And I was like,
rightfully so.
well, and I don't know what they were watching. I think they were watching a Spider-Man movie. I think that's what they were saying. Like, and if they
Oh, was
were,
it?
I don't
I don't
know. I mean,
remember.
I don't remember either because like if it was, I'd be like, good then. Like, because I mean, I don't know if that's be like the best movie like to dump somebody at. I mean, if they were watching Morbius, I'd be like, perfect.
I don't think the movie mattered. I don't think the movie played any part in the fact that they were dumping. I think it's the fact that he tried to put his arm around her and tried to take things further
Yeah,
than she
yeah, it was that,
wanted.
but obviously that it was just a joke. So,
Yeah.
but but obviously he was putting her arm around her, and he was like, she was like, get off me. I know what she did to those kids at the library, and he's like, oh, they were picking on me. So, and I was like, cap.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Like, bro, don't be lying in your girlfriend's face, bro, because that's just wrong.
Yeah. And I was surprised they brought Kyler back. I didn't think Kyler was going to be a recurring character, but he comes in. I think every season he comes in, or he comes back maybe in season 2. But
Yeah, because after Miguel beats up him and his crew of bullies, that's when he's kind of out of the picture for a little while.
yeah, that's
And
right.
and that fight sequence that when he beats him up, like bro, that was awesome. That was like it was really well directed though. I mean, I don't think it's really given enough credit for how well directed those fight choreography sequences are.
Yeah, the choreography in the show is really, really great. And I agree. I don't think it's given it enough credit. And also the kids, as the show goes on, you can really start to tell um when the stunt doubles kind of took a back seat, and when they started doing the stunts themselves. Like they all learned the moves, they all learned how to do the stuff, because I think it's more so in the later seasons, but you get their full faces in the fights and everything after that. But this first one with Miguel fighting the kids in the cafeteria, yeah, it's like it gives you that taste of what you're about to get for 5 seasons.
Yep. And and then once he's done with that, basically I think it's the principal that just basically lifts him down and is like, "Come to my office."
Yeah,
And I'm
all
like,
the kids cheer.
yeah, all the kids cheer because I mean, obviously he's the one to root for and not the bullies. So I mean, if they were cheering for the one that beat up the bullies, that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But why would he have been taken into the office if he was the one that was defending himself?
They probably just saw him finish the fight. They probably walked in and just saw that he was the one slapping the kids around. They didn't see the initiation, so it makes sense. I bought it.
Yeah, but I mean, I would have to. I mean, I would obviously take the kid to the office, like the one who was obviously fighting them. But I would not give him like suspension. Or like expel him or anything like that. I would just ask him like what happened, like what caused the fight.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I want to hear his side of the story first before obviously talk to the bullies.
And then he really gets his butt kicked again when he's at the Halloween dance and they corner him in the locker room. That's a tough scene
Yeah,
to
but
check, like to watch, man.
that was before he beat him up in the cafeteria. Like,
Oh, was it before? Oh, okay.
yeah, it was before because he thought he was ready for that, but then
Oh, you're right. You're right. They say you're ready for another butt whooping when in the cafeteria. You're right. No, okay. So before I'm going back a little bit, but before that
Yeah, but
scene, when he gets his
but
butt kicked, that was pretty intense.
I was like, no way, because bro, I mean, I felt bad. Like I felt bad for Miguel. I mean, at that point,
Yeah,
but
no, it was brutal. It was so bad.
especially, I mean, not as bad as what happened in the finale of season 2, though. I felt
Oh
extremely
man,
bad.
that finale, dude. That finale, I freaking love that finale. We'll definitely talk more about it. I'm sure coming up.
Yeah, just in
Uh,
a little bit because obviously we're kind of
yeah,
we're still
still
going
their
through.
still their best finale in my opinion.
Yeah, so then and then once Daniel finds out that Johnny's been running his little karate dojo, he wants obviously him to shut it down.
Yeah,
But
which is like, I love how and they kind of play with this throughout the whole series so far. How crazy Daniel comes across. Like
like
when you really like this guy's just trying to run a business. He's just opened up a business, and he's just like can't get over the fact that this guy beat him up when he was 15. So he's like trying to take down his whole like business before it even gets started. Like it's
yeah,
insanity.
and then basically the fact that Daniel just barged in like when Johnny was there, like
Yeah,
that's when he was like, "Can I have that spray paint?" And then he goes up to the like I think he hires a couple guys to go up to the billboard and then spray paint a penis.
yeah,
Like
going
that
into
goes into
Daniel's
his.
face. That was pretty funny.
I was like, if that was me, I'd be offended, but that is funny.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is that with the show, because he had a bad day or something. I can't remember exactly what happened, but he went out, he got drunk, he drank a 6 can of beer, traded it to a homeless guy to for a spray, or no, it was some delinquent to spray paint, and he gave him the beer for the spray paint, and did that to Daniel. And it's like the choices that these characters make that lead more into the conflict between them. Like even though they don't interact that much, especially in this first season, the choices that they make against each other just builds that conflict even more.
Yeah, and I think it's really funny in like in some ways. Like the way he does it though, just makes it sound funny. Like
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's played for laughs, but some people may find that offensive. But obviously it's played for laughs. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely it was also um one of the first kind of indications that the show was going to have adult moments. Like even though it has a prominent teen cast, and it was following some teenagers in high school and stuff like that. The penis on the face and actually seeing it in all the dick jokes was like, all right, yeah, this is gonna be for some adults too. This is pretty good.
yeah, I mean, sometimes I even question if my parents are even gonna like this show because of that one joke.
Yeah,
Like, but it's whatever. But because sometimes just look past that, like just look at the good stuff.
yeah,
So then once um so like once Miguel starts talking to Sam, he looks to Johnny for advice.
yeah.
And
Oh,
I'm
and I
like,
love that Johnny advises him to go to the arcade where he went, where they had the Daniel and Allie had their first date in the first movie at that same place, and they even play the same song. I think it's Two Hearts on Fire. I think is what the song's called.
I think so,
Like
yeah.
the show uses nostalgia from the Karate Kid franchise so well because it's not, as we would call it, fan service. It it's important to the story and important to the characters, and it's not just used to stop the show and be like, remember this from the past. It's a nice little piece from the past that is used to push the show into the future.
Yep, for sure. And he didn't like at first, like when he talked to Sam, he didn't really feel. He obviously said it wasn't really a date, just more like friends, like hanging out and everything like that.
Yeah,
And
that was his little way of getting her to go on the date, and then eventually she was the one that signified it was a date and cemented that with a kiss.
there you go. Oh boy, does that really solve your problem?
Yeah.
Like, oh my
And
goodness.
it's around this time that Robbie is working for Daniel at the car insurance place, right? Or his
Yeah,
car
yeah,
lot.
he's working. Yeah, he's working at his car lot, and doing a bunch, and he's basically um he's being hailed as one of their best workers when after he starts working there. He's been doing a lot of good stuff for them and everything.
Yeah.
Um, but
And
then one,
Daniel's taking him on as his student with his chores, teaching him how to do karate, like jacking up the car and washing the wax on, wax off with the car a lot. Again, a nostalgic throwback, but in the context of the show, it still works.
yes, it definitely works. But then at one point, he gets a call from his buddies saying that like, do you have the security code and everything? We're gonna break in and steal a car.
Yeah.
Um, obviously, with a little bit of karate, he doesn't let that happen. And obviously, when I really feel like he's about to go down, there's a camera.
Yeah. Catches their faces.
He's like,
Suckers.
and he's like, "We're gonna get you back one day. Just you wait." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Nah, bro. If he gets lessons from Daniel, bro, you're not gonna get him."
And we have to wait till season 2 before they come back, right? If I remember correctly.
I think it's in season 2. Again, trying to remember like some of the important stuff like
Yeah.
about the show, and not just trying to get all everything. And also when Johnny first encounters Sam, I forgot to mention this. That's when they accidentally hit his car. That's when he
Yes.
first encounters Sam. But then later on in the show, his her mother realizes that that she didn't tell her about it at first, and not even to Daniel.
Yeah.
So I was like, you should have just told him.
Yeah. Classic teen stuff. Keeping it from the parents.
Because I have a little story for you guys. So I tried putting my mom's truck away at one point after walking on the treadmill because I was obviously going to play loud music and I didn't want the glass to break, you know? I mean, obviously that wouldn't happen, but it's just.
What? Glass breaks when you walk on the treadmill? I totally missed
I
that.
mean,
What
I mean, with
happened?
I think it was with loud music. So is what I was meaning. So
Oh, okay. I was like,
because
what?
I'm sure that can happen. It's just um. So then I thought I was doing it right, and then all of a sudden I hit my dad's little work desk for tools and everything, and I put a little dent in the truck. So then I ran to my
Uh-oh.
mom and told her right away.
Good kid.
Yeah,
Good thing to do.
yeah, but then I got hit with kind of I couldn't really spend money on anything for a while. So
Oh, yeah. Well, that does make good TV. So I'm glad that she didn't tell the parents and they had to find out. And then that's
uh,
when she gets grounded and Robbie comes into the picture and kind of breaks her out.
yep,
Takes her to that party where Miguel gets drunk and comes to confront them. And that kind of ends their relationship for quite some time.
yeah, because I think it was that Miguel sees Robbie kissing Sam at the
Yes.
party. So, and I was like, make your decisions better. Like, but I mean, obviously, teens are not the brightest people, to be honest with you. I mean, no offense to any teens or anybody, but obviously, they're not always the brightest people.
I was a teen and I was a freaking idiot.
I think I was more of an idiot than you.
Yeah, we'll have to compare stories sometime.
Not now, obviously, because
Yeah, not now. Obviously, we don't have time for that.
definitely not. But
All right, Luke, what happened next?
all right,
Robbie, no, not Robbie. Samantha and Miguel broken up. That
yep,
one girl, I can't remember her name at the moment. It might come to
Tori.
me. No, not Tori. Who gives the front wedgie to that girl? What's her name? Samantha's friend that she hasn't hung out with, and she joins Cobra Kai. And at the party, she gives that frontal wedgie to blonde girl.
I do not remember what her name was, to be
She
honest with you.
disappears after like season 3, or like in season 3, she disappears and has like a one scene. But I
Yeah,
can't remember her name.
she just has one scene with when she's in Cobra Kai, like, but then she's just gone. You never see her again.
Yeah. Maybe the
But
chat can tell us what her name is. I don't remember what it is.
maybe, but we'll see. But yeah, once they're confronted and everything just obviously is going to a downward spiral. So, And yeah, everything is just kind of going off and on between characters, especially like once Daniel and Johnny are confronting each other again. Um, and also we're introduced to a new character, Tori, in season two.
Paint and list.
Yep, we're introduced to her in season two, and she is definitely a bully. Like, like you could tell, like especially like from her character arc and what she does like throughout the show. Like before she realizes like what Cobra Kai has been doing to her and
She
everything.
starts off that way a lot more for sure.
Yeah, she starts off as more of a bully than anything, and I'm like I just immediately think about this. I was like, she's basically female Johnny from the original Karate Kid. Is like
Oh, that's a good way of
immediately
looking
what I
at it.
thought. Like because basically in the first Karate Kid, you don't really see things from Johnny's perspective because obviously you just see him as the bully.
Hmm.
You don't really see things from his perspective. You see everything mostly from Daniel's perspective,
That's right.
and
Well,
obviously
you see, Oh yeah, in the first film you're talking about. In the
the
first
first
film.
movie, not this. I'm not talking about the sequels. I'm just
Yeah.
talking about the first one. Um, but obviously, like you said with the show, it kind of jiggles back and forth between each character's perspective and like who's the bully, like who they think is the bully or who the other thinks is the bully.
Hmm.
Like I like the way that it shifts and everything. Like that just it works.
Yeah.
And
No, I completely agree. It's a brilliant balance that they've been able to lock down for almost the entire series.
yep. And then Hark Hawk gets a new look, which is a big mohawk.
Yep. Because of
And,
his lip, he doesn't want to be called Lip anymore.
yeah, he doesn't want to be called Weird Lip anymore. So there's the reason why he gets a mohawk and a hawk on his back as a tattoo.
Yeah, giant hawk on his back.
And I'm like, I definitely don't want to come near you just for that reason. Like,
Yeah, no, he does. He totally reinvents his look and, in a way, his character completely changes from that moment on.
yep, and definitely, I think Miguel and Dimitri kind of see that as a little bit of a problem. I mean, obviously, as the
It's
season
yeah,
progresses,
it's the first sign for Miguel, anyways, that the Cobra Kai may not be a good place to be, or may not be doing good things for these kids after all.
like they're actually making them to be bullies. Like, even though that's not what they're even though that's not what Johnny has been trying to teach them, like
Yeah,
to be big bullies. Like he's been trying to teach them how to defend themselves. Like whenever they're caught up in a situation like that, not just to bully everybody. But then once Kreese and Silver come around, that's when things really start to take a turn for the worse for them.
right. And that's after this season's done. After they win the tournament against Robbie and Daniel, then
Yep.
Kreese comes back into the picture in the end of season one, right? Makes his triumphant return, and they kind of allude to him throughout the entire season. Like they
Yeah.
mention him. Johnny talks a lot about how toxic the relationship was with him, how abusive he was to him, and we get to know Kreese again through Johnny's story of him until eventually that final scene where he comes out of the shadows, which is a smart way to do it too for those who are new to the show and haven't really watched the first Karate Kid or haven't really
Like seeing
remember it very much or haven't watched it in a really long time. You get reintroduced to Kreese in that way, and it's smart writing.
yeah, exactly. And then that's when again Cobra Kai starts to take a downward spiral a bit like I mean not the show obviously, talking about like the dojo starts to take a turn for the worse when he's involved
Yeah, Johnny partners
because
up with him.
well, he doesn't really partner up with him. He actually he just takes over. Like he just takes over the dojo, and that's when the kids start to become worse as people. Like
Yeah, he twists their minds. This is season 2, right? This is
yeah,
now season 2.
we're still in season two. I mean, because we still haven't talked about the finale yet.
Yeah,
So and then once Tori and Sam confront each other, that's when a huge fight breaks out, and like throughout the entire school, like everybody's watching. Like like not
Oh my
an-
goodness, yes.
like not anybody is in the classroom. Like no one's in class. Everyone's watching the fight. Like all between Sam and Tori, and then Miguel and Robbie. And I think it's also between Dimitri and Hawk as well.
Right, and it's all
Like
because that Sam kissed Miguel, who was dating Tori at the time, at the house party.
yeah,
And then she goes over the PA system and calls her out, and then that fight happens in the hallways between the Cobra Kai kids and Miyagi Do.
yep, and after it I don't necessarily look like really sharp brass knuckles that Tori had on her. It basically kind of cuts Sam and leaves a scar on her, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeesh. Like,
Well, what's really great about that whole fight, about I think it's still the best finale they've had in the show thus far. The whole season builds up to that. The tension between the two dojos keeps building. The characters, their conflicts keep building and building and building until eventually the point of the epic climax, so to speak, of their rivalry is in that school, because the season is taking place over the summer, so they've had interactions, but they've been kept separate. But in school, it's like they've all been thrown into this pit together, and it's just a giant throwdown, and it's phenomenal.
yeah, and when Sam finally gets Tori out of her sight for after that fight, like I was like, good job,
Yeah,
you did good. But the real God, I don't even know if I want to talk about this because this literally almost made me cry.
Miguel.
Like, yep. Um, when I think it was I think it was Miguel that tried to back down a little bit. He was trying to say he was sorry,
Yeah, he tries to give Robbie the hand because he's got Robbie on the ground, and and lends out his hand
and
to
he's like,
pick him up.
he's like, come on, man, I'm sorry, but no, he continuously fights him, but then Miguel doesn't even fire back, which causes him to go off the second story, like of the stairs,
Yep.
and he hits the side of it, which ends him up in a
That
coma.
railing, like,
He hits the railing and it ends him up in a coma,
yep.
and maybe even a couple broken ribs at least, because like I think he hit his back on the railing, and like because if you hit your back, you're basically like on a railing. You could break your ribs.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, dude, like some of his ribs are gone. Like, not in a
Yeah.
comic way, but like,
But I mean, like, he got paralyzed a little bit there
yeah, I mean,
at the beginning of season 3.
because obviously he was still in a coma for the first couple of episodes, and
Yep. And Johnny's trying to get him to walk again in all of his crazy methods.
I love Johnny's methods, the way he was trying to help to get Miguel to walk again, because I mean, obviously they're very painful, but obviously they work.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, glad I didn't have a karate. Glad I didn't do any taekwondo or anything, because my God, that would have been painful.
Yeah. No kidding. When he's got him like roped up and pulls
He's
him
got
up by the rope, he's got like this harness on and
yeah,
just leaves him there until he takes a step.
yeah, exactly, and especially that scene when Miguel's in his wheelchair and he has a fishing rod that has a '80s magazine in there, the one that you were pointing out earlier.
Right.
He has that on there, and he's like, "Can't you just look up girls online? That they're better in the magazine." And he's like, gets up, tries to jump, and he misses, and
Yeah.
he lands pretty hard on the ground. Like,
Yeah, he does.
bro, if he hit his head on the ground, bro, concussion. I'm telling you, bro, that's an easy concussion.
Oh yeah, easily.
Like, I would even think he could have even suffered a concussion after that fight at the end of season 2, because I think he did also kind of hit his head on the stairs.
Well, the fact that he also like eventually does learn to walk again and can do karate again and all that stuff, like you gotta suspend your disbelief there a little bit, because
I know, but like sometimes
he took that fall hard on that back.
yeah, I know. I mean, sometimes I kind of look. I don't try to do this, but sometimes I kind of look at it with a realistic point of view, like how it would actually happen in reality, like if it was actually real. but obviously I do need to suspend my disbelief, like you said. But
Well, speaking of disbelief or suspending your disbelief too, season 3 is also the season where Daniel stops going to work.
yep, and
He
he
never goes to work in this season. There's so many
nope.
times I'm yelling, Daniel, go to work. Stop doing what you're doing and go to
And I'm
work.
thinking oh, and I think it's probably a later season, like when he reunites with a friend that he met in a Karate Kid 2. That's not Chosen. It's a different friend. I
Is
think it
it
was
the
that.
girl?
Yeah,
Is
it
it
was
the
the
girl
girl
that
that.
he saved? Yeah, it's the girl he saved when she was a young girl. There was a hurricane in the
Yep,
I think it was a hurricane in the village or something like that in Karate Kid 2, and he saves her from like the top of a telephone pole.
yep. And then
Yeah.
later, and then obviously later, at a bar, he reunites with Chosen,
Yep. Chosen comes back into the picture.
and I'm like, oh, like, cause like, bro, I could already sense something bad,
Yeah, because
just from that.
last time they fought was to the death.
Yeah, and Chosen almost killed Daniel.
Yep. No,
Like,
no. Daniel almost killed him, but he gave him mercy because Daniel had him by the
yeah,
head.
yep, exactly. Um, and that was pretty crazy. And basically after what happened in season 2 between after the fight, basically the school's kind of holding a kind of physical contact type of rule,
Yeah.
which I think is stupid. Like, I think
I
that
mean,
rule is like,
the beginning of the season was pretty. I like the way they did it because of that big fight at the schools. And then they had that parent meeting, and all the parents were like, "Are you kidding me? Like, what's going on? Where was the security? Like the whole community is just in distress." And I liked how they played that. Like, it felt
yeah, I
very
liked
realistic to me.
very much so realistic. I mean, I don't know, man. I have to see it from the kid's point of view before I actually decide that rule. Like,
Yeah,
if I was the one that was working at the school, I would have to talk to them first before deciding that rule. Like, I wouldn't
yeah.
just, think, oh, karate is being toxic to all of our world, so we're going to incline a rule: no physical contact of fighting. Like, that's not the way I roll, dude. Like,
Well, this is also around the time where the show really starts to play with Cobra Kai and Miyagi Do and these dojos competing against each other. They really do come across as cults.
yep.
Rivalry of cults. Like they really play into that factor with these dojos around this time, and it's pretty funny.
Yeah, and again, the school thinks that it's kind of intoxicating the kids,
Yeah,
but it really is not. It's the Cobra Kai kids are the ones that are being intoxicated because of their dojo.
yeah, and because of this, at this point, we have Kreese has Cobra Kai, Johnny has started Eagle Fang, and Daniel has Miyagi Do, and uh they're threatening to cancel the tournament, the big karate tournament, and so Kreese, Daniel, and Johnny have to kind of team up to get this tournament going again.
Yeah, and they had to do a court scene to kind of help them get the karate tournament back on play.
Yeah.
So, and then when you really think that it's not going to work out, Miguel and Sam step into the picture and they make it work.
Yep. Yep. And Kreese is just tormenting Daniel
Yeah.
the whole season.
Yep. Oh yeah, and we forgot to mention a couple of things about Robbie. We don't see him for a little while until like a few episodes
Right.
into season 3 because
This is his turn to the dark side.
yeah, because obviously after what happened to Miguel, he's been on the run.
Well, he goes to juvie first, doesn't he? Oh no, no,
He
he
goes
is
to
on
like
the
this
run.
he goes to like this I think it's like a therapy kind of session before
Yeah.
Daniel finds him, which ends Robbie in jail.
Yeah. Because he brings the cops.
I mean, obviously, I could tell that Daniel was helping him, but obviously to Robbie, it wasn't really much of a help because,
It's betrayal.
yeah, but I see that he was helping him though because, like, if he was actually just caught by the cops, he would have been sentenced to jail for longer.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't want that to happen. Like, I wanted him to get like a lower sentence from like the max sentence that he was going to get if he was caught.
Absolutely. And that's kind of when Kreese is able to take him under his wing because he feels betrayed by both Daniel and Johnny.
Yep. But again, like obviously in season 5, that's when he gets a chance to redeem himself.
Yeah.
Like to kind of step out of Cobra Kai and try to tell the kids that
Love it. Love it so much.
like when he tries to tell some of his friends like Tori and what's that one kid's name that kept on getting picked on and then just turned to Cobra Kai and he's like undefeatable. Like he was obviously a lot smaller than most of the kids there.
Oh,
Forgot the kids' names.
he's picking on Daniel's son at this point, right? He's picking on
Anthony.
Anthony. Yeah. He's picking on Anthony at this point. What is his name?
Yeah, I really need to look that up.
Oh, crap, no, I don't remember what his name is.
Oh,
But
I can try to look it up here because
yeah, you may
I got
have to.
I have my
But
iPad on here.
but it was also interesting they did it with him too, as he was this sweet young kid at the start who was getting picked on by Daniel's son. They turned Daniel's son into a bully. And then he joined Cobra Kai, and when Daniel's son tried to make amends, all of a sudden this kid was just like relentless on Anthony. And Anthony is also funny because he comes back in this season. I think he was absent for season 3. Oh no,
Yeah,
season 2 was he absent for? Because he was just the kid, the younger brother who played on his video games everywhere they went. And
yeah,
now
exactly.
they kind of incorporated him more into the Miyagi Do side of the show, which I thought was great for the actor and great for the character.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the characters. There we go. So again, I'm just trying to get the thing out of the way so that way we can kind of.
Yeah, why can't I remember his name?
That's the reason why I'm pulling it up. Kenny.
Because Kenny, that's his name. Kenny,
Yeah,
right?
I had to look at that for a second because I was really confused about what the kid's name was. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, Kenny's the one that was getting picked on quite a bit. I think. I don't remember exactly what happened. I think I think Anthony took his bag at one point, and then
yeah, and catfished him, made him think he was talking to a girl in class on a video game, and they made him go to the park and
yep,
filmed it and put it around the world. But this is season 4, right? So we totally skipped over the finale of season 3 where they break into Cobra Kai
yep,
and
and
Miyagi
they
Do are so at odds that they break into Daniel's house to fight all
yep,
the kids.
yeah, the Cobra Kai kids break into Daniel's house, and then basically Daniel and Johnny show up at the dojo, and they try to basically kick the living crap out of Kreese.
Oh yeah, they kick his butt. And Daniel uses that move that he used from Chosen and makes his arms go limp, which they never bring back, by the way, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah, very, very weird.
They
But
did kind of write themselves into a corner with that though, because they did kind of make it like you could defeat anybody and there's really not much of a fight when you know how to do that.
yeah,
So they just were like, okay, we'll introduce it and then we'll never address it again. No one remembers it.
oh yeah, exactly. Like it just happens, and then nope. Because I think it was Johnny, Allie, Amanda, and Daniel that were out on. I think they were out for dinner at that one time during the finale.
Right. Because Allie comes back. Allie
Yep,
from the first film comes back to the picture. Elizabeth Shue making her return.
yep. Well, I think it was in one of the later before the finale. That's when she finally meets back up with Johnny because they met each other on Facebook.
Yeah. Johnny sent her that message at the end of season 2, I believe.
Yeah, and that's when Miguel's mom was kind of getting like on in Johnny's shoes there before. But I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, it occurs later more in the seasons because obviously they kind of because she's the one that's thankful that he is helping Miguel, like with karate lessons and everything.
Yeah. It's also when Johnny and Daniel start to make a little bit of amends with each other when they're at that restaurant. They have the double date. It's not a
Yep, the
planned double date, but it ends up being a double date because the wives are like, these boys are being silly. Come sit at the table with us. And they kind of have to talk about what they have in common and similarities, and they kind of start to get along for the first time in ever.
Yeah, it never happens. Like you really just look at it and you're just like, why do we not see that? Like,
Yeah, it's a great scene. I love it.
yeah, it's a great way to kind of to kind of help you like get back with these characters better, like to help them think, okay, they're actually getting along.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to point. Why did I forget this? I forgot to point out one sequence in season 3, like when they're playing soccer out on the field. During I think it was during gym class. Um, they were kind of basically fighting each other,
Yeah. Yeah. It
and
was Miyagi-Do versus Cobra
uh,
Kai, and they were
yeah, and
attacking each
basically
other.
the principal gets the Miyagi Do kids detention when it
Yeah.
really should have been the Cobra Kai kids that should have been getting detention.
Yeah. It just furthers the conflict because they kind of play it off as they were the ones that were initiating the fight.
When clearly they didn't.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because they were the ones that kind of started the fight, and then basically they were like, you know what? Let's get back at them at the game. But then obviously that takes a horrible turn for the worse, and then they're like, okay, we're done playing. Go back inside and change. Like,
Is this after they break Dimitri's arm, or is this before that?
I think that's before they break Dimitri's arm. Because
Man, dude, that scene is rough. That's a brutal scene.
I think it's in season 4 when they break Dimitri's arm.
Is
If
it
I
season
remember
4?
right, I
Oh, I
think
thought it was season.
so.
I think it's season 3.
Oh yes, yeah. I think it's actually season 3 because yeah, Dimitri's arm broken, and Sam couldn't even do anything about it because she was frightened about what was going on.
Yeah, because she has PTSD from Tori after that fight in the finale of season 2 in the school. And
Yeah,
that arm break, man, that's brutal. They got him pinned, and
and then
it's like no mercy, and you hear
and
the crack. It's it's tough.
yeah, and Hawk had no mercy. He broke his arm
Yeah, his once
and
best friend.
now turned enemy.
Yeah,
Bro, I legitimately wanted to look away from that. Like, I legitimately wanted to look away
yeah.
because that was.
I'm pretty sure I did. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure I looked away from that.
Yep, and we got to talk about that fight at the finale of season 3. That was so well done. Like,
Yeah, it was really, really well done. It definitely felt like they were trying to top themselves and do what they did at the school in season 2, but it was so ridiculous. They just trashed Daniel's house. Like there was no way
yeah,
that the
and
cops could
like
not get
if
involved in that. It was
yeah,
ridiculous.
especially when Daniel, like, you don't see that Daniel comes home and is like, "What happened here?" And Sam would have to explain everything. Like,
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
like,
it's
The Cobra Kai
ridiculous.
kids broke into the house.
Well, I love that you don't even get to see Daniel's reaction to it. We just go to the dojo where Kreese is, and he comes in and he's like, "You broke into my home!" Like you don't even see
Yeah,
Daniel's reaction to his house being completely destroyed.
yeah, and the way that Miguel finally beats up Kyler again, that was incredible.
Yeah,
Like, because bro, I thought he was done for real. Like after that, because oh man, that really got me. Like, because then like, nope, you're going down. I love that sometimes, like when you think it's gonna be the one that he like when you think the one you're rooting for is gonna go down, it's just like flip the coin, he's going down.
yeah.
I love that. And
Is this correct me if I'm wrong? Is this when Hawk switches sides?
season
And
4
he
is when he switches sides.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought he teamed up with Dimitri and they took down a guy together in the house fight. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, never mind. It was yeah.
It was in the house fight. Yeah, I
I
have
think it was in
memory
the
of them
house
fighting
fight
together.
because yeah, because he didn't because it looked like that Hawk was gonna kill Dimitri, but he didn't want to do it.
Yeah,
So he was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it, man. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna fight by your side. Let's take these guys down.
yeah. Great turnaround for the character.
and it actually made me like his character more. Like, because
Oh,
at
I
first,
love Hawk. Hawk is
oh,
great.
yeah, I mean, but when he became the bully, though, I was like, not sure about this turn of events. But then, once he starts fighting back with what was his original friend, that it made it better for me. Like it made me like his character a lot more.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, man. Because sometimes, like when I look at them, because sometimes when I look at the characters, I just see bullies, and I'm like, come on, just you got to notice what's going on here. But then they're just
Yeah.
like, but they're like, no, like Cobra Kai is shaping us as real people, and I'm just like, no, get out of here. It really is not. It's really making you want to. And plus, when I looked at it, I think it was also during season 3 that some of the kids at Cobra Kai end up stealing stuff.
Yeah, they definitely have bully tendencies in both sides, in Cobra Kai and in Miyagi-Do.
Yeah, I mean, because especially it was in the arcade, like when they stole a girl's tickets from skee ball and they cashed them in, and then basically they cashed them in like it was their tickets, and then they stole a bunch of prizes. And
Right.
I was like, your kids belong in jail.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
pretty
I don't
crazy. It
care.
gets pretty outlandish.
Like, bro, I don't care. Like, if it's nothing like that bad, they still belong in jail for that. Like,
Yeah.
but obviously, it's Cobra Kai logic. So, I mean, their logic's not always going to make sense.
True.
Like, let's just be honest about that. Like, not all logic in movies or TV is going to make
No.
sense to you.
No, it's all about the rules of the world that they establish. And they've kind of established that cops don't care in this world.
They really do.
This stuff is ridiculous that they get away with what they do.
Yeah, I mean, because in the first season, Johnny does get arrested for beating up a group of kids.
Yeah. Well, what I love is that in the first episode of and even throughout the season of season 1 and 2, the mini mart where Cobra Kai is full of people. By this point, no one's around when Johnny is kicking Kreese's butt, or when Daniel and Johnny are getting beat up by Kreese or anything. Like as soon as there's a fight where they're breaking through glass and throwing people through the building, no one's suddenly around at this mini mart. Like the mini mart is just deserted.
They're just like, we didn't sign up to come here.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. Like, you would not even want to be there when there's like a bunch of fights breaking around.
No, all the homeless people packed up their tents and left. Like that place was like covered in homeless people in the first season, and there's no one to be found anymore by that mini mart by this point.
Oh, yeah, hold on. I think I just found the character that you were talking about that Sam used to be friends with. I think her name was Nicole.
No, not Nicole. Nicole was one of one of the girls that bullied um the other girl. I can't remember what her. She joined Cobra Kai for a little bit. She had glasses. She had
That is her.
her name's Nicole.
Yeah.
I don't think her name's
Oh, wait,
Nicole.
no. Aisha. Aisha.
Thank you, Aisha. That's what it is. Aisha. I think it's Aisha.
Yeah. I was looking at the cast name for some odd reason. I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay. Yeah, Aisha. That's the one I was talking about. Aisha.
Yep. Yeah, that was it was an interesting turn of events that she was in the first like few seasons, but then
Yeah, where did she go? She's just gone.
yeah, once they redeem that for season 6, we better know where she is.
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird.
but oh well.
I mean, we know where she is. Her parents moved her, which makes sense. For story wise, that makes a lot of sense that they would want want to take the kid out of the city and move her away, because she does have that one scene with Sam in season 3 where Sam goes to visit her, but that's the last time we've seen her. So
Yep.
they just
And
wrote her out
then
of the show, I guess. Which for the storyline they did it in a way that makes sense, but I guess the actress just got fired. I don't know. I wonder what happened there.
yeah, we'll definitely have to look into the behind the scenes aspect of the show because
Yeah.
I'm a little suspicious. But it is what it is. And when Johnny assembles Eagle Fang, um, again, things are starting to take a downward spiral for him because Cobra Kai just keeps getting in the way.
Yep.
So that's when that's when Johnny and Daniel are forced to team up. So,
And that's
like,
leading us into season 4
yep,
because that's where they team up in season 4.
yep, they team up in season 4, and that's when Silver comes into the picture.
Terry Silver, Thomas Griffin, back from Karate Kid 3. His hair hasn't changed except for the color. I can't believe it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, so then in season 4, that's when things really, really get worse for both
Yeah.
Miyagi Do and Eagle Fang. Um,
Can we just address though how impressive it is that all these guys who were in the first Karate Kid didn't like get fat or lose their athletic abilities? Like, can you imagine like creases, like these guys are like 50, 60 years old and they're all able to do this stuff. It's incredible.
yeah, I mean, I would have probably thought that with Johnny, but I mean, with Daniel, I wouldn't really think so. But with Johnny, I could have saw that,
Yeah,
like,
like it's crazy.
because bro, once you're introduced to Johnny in the show, he's suffering with alcohol problems.
Yeah.
So, and what is he? And basically, what does he drink throughout the entire show? Nothing but alcohol.
Nothing but beer, especially the first couple seasons.
Yep, he's just cracking open a beer and look, drinking all that. He's just drinking
Doing
all
that
that beer.
bottle thing with his, I love that bottle thing he does. He like flicks his bottle with his bottle cap away. I love it.
Yep, I love it. Oh man, good stuff, bro. I
Yeah.
mean, so yeah, and I'm trying to remember like exactly like some of the stuff that goes on that it also kind of. Oh yeah, during the tournament, also the finale. During the tournament, Miguel's gone. Like,
Is this which season 4? Is this the finale of season 4 we're talking about?
yeah,
Oh yeah,
like
okay. He leaves to go find his
after
father in Mexico. Yeah.
yeah, because after an injury, like during the tournament, he's gone. Like you don't see him like throughout
That's
the rest
right.
of the
Yeah.
tournament. So basically, that gives Cobra Kai another point, which should not even be why. Like,
Yeah.
I like it. I was questioning this when the season when the episode was progressing because like I had no idea why Cobra Kai was just winning when I really think that either Miyagi Do or Eagle Fang should have been winning by that point. Like,
It's revealed that Terry paid off the ref.
yeah, he rigged the game.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, bro, you did not just rig this game. Like, bro, that made me so mad. Like, because I was like, because I could tell like from that one, what like for that 1 second. I mean, especially when Tori confronts Silver when they have like this new big karate dojo of Cobra Kai that has like a bar. I'm just like, dude, this is not fair. That is so not fair. You rigged this just to have your way, and
Yeah.
plus, after the tournament, like you falsely accused Kreese of what happened, basically beating up that one guy at your dojo.
Stingray.
Yeah,
I love
you beat up
Stingray.
Paul Walter Hauser. I loved him
He's
so much.
great.
I mean, he's a name you really got to watch out for throughout this next decade or so because he's a really nice, really really good actor.
He pops up in a lot of stuff too. He was in that Cruella. He was one of the
Oh yeah, he was. I think it
bandits.
was Horace
I think so, yeah.
because I think yeah because Jasper was obviously a lot less fatter than what he was. No offense, man. No offense, but but yeah, I mean, he was great in that. He was also great in Richard Jewell. That
I
was
don't think I
a
saw that one.
oh yeah. But do you know the story about Richard Jewell?
I don't think so. I don't know who that is.
That's when it was in Georgia that when he basically saved a bombing from happening. I mean,
Oh.
but but um but the cops are kind of but like basically police and stuff are very suspicious about like why about what happened. Like why there was a bomb like at the I think it was like the Olympics or something.
Oh, dang. Yo, I don't remember that at all. I've never heard of that.
Yeah. because maybe he could have done it to get attention, but obviously he was a security guard, so I don't know why that would be.
Hmm.
But anyways,
Crazy.
let's not get onto that. We're here to still talk about Cobra Kai, but yeah, with
Welcome to the
Stingray.
Richard Jewell talk. We're going to talk all about Richard Jewell for the next hour.
But yeah, when Stingray comes around, he is beaten up horribly by Terry Silver.
Yeah.
Like, and he implicates that Kreese did it.
Yep, because Terry says he can then be back in Cobra Kai. Because he tries to go back to Cobra Kai and Kreese rejects him.
Exactly. And then I think he was in a coma by that time when the police were asking him like who actually caused that to happen, and he said it was John Kreese when he literally should have said Terry Silver.
But
And I
he,
was
he
like,
knows it's not John Kreese.
but he was in a
Yeah.
coma, so I mean, I guess that makes sense
Yeah.
because if you're in
I I took it as he wasn't actually in a, like he was like faking it or something. Like he
yeah, he
seemed very
was
aware what he was doing, especially in season 5 they addressed that. He says that he knows what he was
like
told
he
to do.
knows, yeah, he knows what he was told to do. Like because I could tell that Silver told him that um to tell the police that Kreese was the one that beat him up at the dojo
Yeah.
when clearly that was not him. And so basically, what happens after that, he goes to jail.
Yep. Kreese is put behind bars.
I mean, normally I would be like, finally, the bad guy's finally behind bars, but it should be Silver that should have been behind bars.
Yeah.
But again, that's the show's logic. So, so then when season 5 opens up, um, again, you get into this new dojo of Cobra Kai. Um, it's a lot bigger. It has a bar and everything, like I said before.
It's taking over the valley.
Yeah, and basically, Chosen, Johnny, and Daniel are trying to basically get back at them and actually finish Cobra Kai once and for all.
Well, they're out of the game because
Yeah,
after
that's right.
the
Because after the
tournament they
after the
lost the bet
tournament,
and they had to close down. But Daniel's the delusional one that feels like Terry and all these is out to get him, and he just comes across as a crazy person to all
and
these
like
people.
you really start rooting for Daniel at that point, like
Oh
because
yeah,
you're like, bro, just assemble a crew and you're good. You'll be able to get these guys down.
yeah, that's
Like,
right.
but yeah, and then
Well, Chosen's on his side. He brings in Chosen for that.
I know that. I mean, like obviously, I was gonna say Chosen, and then obviously once they actually get the Miyagi Do back up, um, Chosen is like when Daniel and Johnny are trying to find answers from Kreese. Chosen is their new teacher,
Yeah,
and I was
protect the
like,
egg.
protect. Let's play a little game called Protect the Egg,
Love it.
bro. Like when I was watching that, I was like, dude, he is smart. Like he knows what he's
Hmm.
doing. And I was like, good thing I never took lessons from him.
Yeah.
Because, bro, I would be terrified out of my mind. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, once they kind of finish that out, they get to another little match between Cobra Kai. Um, and obviously, Kenny's being taught some of these new moves by Silver, which can take out an opponent, but with just one shot, like to the ribs.
Oh, the silver bullet.
Yep, the Silver Bullet. And I was
Yeah, love it.
I'll be
Brutal.
like, bro, if I was like literally the ref for that, I would immediately call a loss for them because that is a really cheap move.
Not unless you're paid off.
Yeah.
Again.
I would still decline his pay though. I'm not gonna lie.
No, you don't know how much you offered. That guy had a nice house.
I mean, he did though, but I mean, I wouldn't accept it for what happened.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
That's good morals. Keep those. I'd take the money, I'm not gonna lie.
are you sure?
So a kid gets a little hurt. I get a new car.
You really want a new car, don't you?
Oh, doesn't hurt. Oh, I don't know what I just did there with my hair.
Well, that just took a step in the right direction.
Yep.
Well, yeah, after that one match between Kenny and Hawk, that goes wrong because
For Hawk, yeah.
yeah, because he gets the silver bullet to the chest and that knocks the wind out of him.
Yep. I like that
Oh,
little mohawk he has now after his hair got cut off last
oh,
season.
oh yeah, in the last season, that's when Robbie and his crew of bullies
Yeah.
basically cut his hair, and I was like,
Chopped off his mohawk.
no, like I was like, oh no, dude, I feel so bad.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, though. I thought they were going to tattoo something on his forehead like loser or lip. I thought they were going to
Are
tattoo lip on his forehead.
I legitimately thought they were gonna tattoo like scar lip on his forehead
Yeah,
because
something like that.
like that's what I thought they were gonna do, but no, they cut his hair, and I was like, no,
I was like,
like
thank goodness. That's not as bad as I thought. But yeah, that sucks. I like the hawk. I like the mohawk.
yeah, and because I think he even said without his mohawk he couldn't really fight because it really
Yeah.
didn't really shape him as a person.
His confidence was gone.
Yeah, but then once he gained the mohawk back, that's when he became a better fighter.
Yep.
But then obviously that's when Kenny knocked the wind out of him with a silver bullet,
Brutal.
and I was like, bro, that dude, that'd be like landing on your back so hard, like because he takes a silver bullet to the chest. That's like you land on your back so hard on a certain like ground.
Yeah. They bring back
So
Mike Barnes in this season too, which I thought was really funny because they think that he's teaming up with Terry, and so Daniel and Chosen break into his furniture store.
yeah, and basically, when they're trying to talk it out, Chosen literally starts beating him up, and I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa,
just
whoa, whoa, whoa,
tackles
whoa,
him.
yeah, and I'm like, whoa, 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 slow your roll, bro, like,
And there's that great smash cut when he's like, "Oh, if this is not enemy, then we have a problem." And they smash cut to all the guys that were on the loading dock just laying on the ground in pain because Chosen just beat them all up to make his way into the furniture store. I thought that was
yeah,
great. And then when he buys the couch and they all have to carry the couch into his car and they're all like groaning in pain and he's like, "Don't get blood on the couch." Like so probably the funniest scene in the season so far, or not so far, but overall, it was
yeah,
probably the
but
funniest scene.
overall, yeah, and then, yeah, and at first I thought it was the Miyagi Do that burned down, but no, Silver burned down the furniture store.
Yep.
And then instantly, like when they're in the limo, Mike, no, not Mike, Daniel, Johnny, and Chosen are in the limo, basically
Yep.
out, like basically getting drunk and partying. Um, Mike is the one that's driving the limo, and he basically blames it on them for what happened for the
Yep.
furniture store being burned down. And I was like, bro, don't, no, 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 no. Look, connect the dots here a little bit, you know?
And
Like,
then they all decided to go and kick Terry's butt in his house.
yep. And then
Easily the
that's
most brutal fight in all of the season, in all of the series.
Yep, and that's when Johnny and Chosen show up because Daniel and Mike are in. Well, no, Chosen, Daniel, no, Chosen, Johnny, and Mike show up to his house,
Yeah.
and
Daniel's left on the street.
Yeah, Daniel's left on the street, and that's when Stingray comes to pick him up because
Yep.
he finds a truck and is like, and the guys think they're like, is this dude crazy? Is he so drunk? Like,
Yeah. They're gonna kick his butt.
so then Stingray comes by and um, Carmen and Amanda are in the car with them. So I'm like, why are they in there with them? Like at first I thought that, but then obviously when
He shows up at the
Stingray,
house first. Yeah.
yeah, after they explain everything, I'm like, okay, now I get this. Now I get it. So then, yeah, Mike gets knocked out for a little bit, and I'm like I legit thought he was dead. But,
Yeah.
and Johnny is basically fighting all those dojos and everything with that Terry Silver just had like come out, or all the senseis, I should say. Why do I keep saying dojos? They're senseis. And then Silver fights Chosen, and
With a sword fight.
yeah, a sword fight on the
That's
pole.
not normal
Yeah,
for the show.
and Chosen gets cut a few times, but then he gets a really nasty hit with the sword on the back.
Oh yeah, I thought he
Okay,
was dead.
like at that point, I was like, no, no, you did not just kill him, but they
I thought
did.
he was. I thought he was dead. I thought he was a goner.
I thought so too myself, man. But
I loved when he came back and he was like, "It's just a flesh wound," and Daniel was like, "Yeah, but it's a lot of flesh. Get to the ambulance."
yep, and then what really ends up in the finale, it's not really just the Cobra Kai kids fighting. They actually get the evidence of what happened, like why Cobra Kai won the tournament.
Yep.
And then all the Cobra Kai kids were like, "What have we done?"
Uploaded it to YouTube.
Thanks to Dimitri and Hawk, they got the job done. So,
Yep.
and yeah, that's also when Tori realizes that she was being, um, they were being like drug tripped into Cobra Kai. So I was like, "Thank you, you finally realized your point." Like, did Robbie's advice really help you out? Like,
Yeah. Tori had a
because
nice arc in this season.
that's when that's when I started to actually like root for her as a character.
Yeah, and this
Like,
season had a lot of resolution to a lot of like we've got to mention a lot of like Johnny is and Carmen are pregnant.
yep, and
Johnny's prepping to be a father.
oh yeah, and I love that sequence at the beginning of one of the episodes. It's basically like a Top Gun montage.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love
It's
that so.
exactly like that.
Yep, and it's playing one of the songs from Top Gun, and I'm like, that's what I needed.
Yeah, it was great.
So, but yeah, I mean, it was kind of a great story arc to see that, and honestly, Johnny becoming a father, that's scary, but I'm sure he'll make a good father.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
The thing is too is like this time he's not so much prepared for it, but he's accepted it. And
I
he wants to be there. He wants to be the like that's
like he actually wants to be a father. Like
yeah,
he's
it's a
not.
great completion to his arc. This season, I'm surprised they're going for another season. To be honest, this season felt like the finale to me. They
Yeah,
they resolved a lot of stuff.
yeah. I mean, especially with that final fight sequence between Silver and Daniel at the Cobra Kai dojo.
Yeah,
Um, yeah,
took Silver down. All the Cobra Kai kids threw their shirts at him. They were out of the Cobra Kai dojo. They're done with Cobra Kai. Like it really felt like the end of the series to me, and I was pretty satisfied with it.
yeah, and basically characters' conflicts finally get resolved. Sam and Miguel finally love each other again.
Robbie and Miguel are at each other's throats. They
The-
accept themselves as brothers because now they've got
Oh
a new
yeah,
brother
because
coming.
forgot to mention at the beginning of season 5, when Robbie comes back, basically like Robbie comes back to his dad, and after they go through Mexico, um, to help Miguel,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I mean, obviously they don't get along at first because obviously they remember what happened back in season 2.
Yeah, but they
But
work through that with the help of Johnny and Robbie even have a bit of a resolution to
yeah,
their relationship as well. There was a lot of things where it felt like they were wrapping it up for these characters. Like even when Daniel came looking for the fight at Johnny's place and wants to fight Johnny, and Johnny's just like, "What are you doing, man? Sit down. Let's talk." Like that's a huge growth that we've seen from Johnny
yeah,
from where he started. Like,
and then once they're talking it out, you Johnny gives Daniel one of his beers, and I'm like, I never thought Daniel would be an alcoholic. Like,
yeah, because his wife and kids left, and he was just like at rock bottom.
yeah, he kind of felt like he needed a drink to just kind of drink away the pain and all that. So, but again, I love the arcs that they go for. It's just really well done, and also another conflict that's resolved. Tori and Robbie finally get back together. That's another
Yep.
conflict resolution. And at one point in the show, when Kreese is like we see Kreese in jail, um, so like a prisoner stabbed him, and it looked like he was dead.
Yep. I thought they killed him.
But no, they decided to take. They were just like plot twist. It was actually Jello protection, and I was
That was
like,
so stupid too. When the freaking prison doctor or whatever he is like licks his hand, he like takes the jello off and he licks his hand to test
yeah,
it. It's like, ew, who does that? Like, no matter what you don't know what it is. Like,
it could be poison or something like that. Like it could have had poison injected into him.
no one noticed that he was like breathing when they checked
Yeah,
his pulse. Like wouldn't they have checked him like to see if he was alive? Like they wheel him in as
yeah,
if he's already dead. They've got the thing over his body, and he pops out like a zombie. But like you would
and he's
check his
still
pulse before you put the blanket over his entire body. That scene was pretty stupid. I'm not gonna lie. That whole thing
yeah,
was pretty ridiculous.
and the way he just comes back and he breaks out of prison,
Yeah,
like, and bro, finally Silver gets to be behind bars. Finally, like, and now Kreese is actually back out in jail. Is back out of jail now, so because he
yeah.
broke out.
I
It,
feel
bro,
like Terry though, like in reality, I think it'd be easy for him to get out of jail. I think he can buy the best lawyers. There's not really that much crime I think they could get him on. Like even the house thing where they broke into his house, chosen Johnny and Mike, and he has surveillance footage that they broke into his house. He can prove that it's self-defense. I could see him getting out in season 6 pretty easily.
yeah, but with the show's logic, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, you
So,
got to suspend your disbelief there for sure.
yeah, because this is not a reality show. This is Cobra Kai.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
This is the first time we've seen cops in like 3 years in this show. So,
yeah, and you're just like, okay, cops are finally actually doing the right thing.
yeah.
Not. So, yeah, man, that I did not like the way that season wrapped up. I thought that was really stupid. But
Well, I like the way it wrapped up. I just didn't like that last scene. I thought
the
it was
last
a
scene, the last
stupid
scene,
scene.
the last scene, I didn't like that. I mean, and I liked that the characters' conflicts with like between Sam and Miguel and Tori and Robbie and all that kind of stuff were all resolved.
Yeah,
And
me too.
every, like it was kind of a sweet ending in some ways, but then they were just like, wait, there's more.
And that's
John Kreese actually lived.
yeah, that's a little like I'm fine with having John Kreese living and escaping jail as the end of his story too. Like I don't think that's a big deal. My fear for season 6 is that now they're gonna have to take all that resolution and undo it to continue the story, and it's just gonna feel tired at that point.
Yeah,
This
I don't
this
know,
felt
man,
like a really
because
good place to end it off, honestly. Like Cobra Kai
yeah,
is done, the kids gave up Cobra Kai, all the character resolutions have happened. It felt like they were preparing for this to be the last season.
and I wish it was the final season though, because I feel like the show has kind of reached its peak at this point.
Yeah, going
But
into season 5, I felt like it had run its course. During season 5, I just wanted more, and then when season 5 ended, I was like, "This is end it." Like all good things have to come to an end. I've loved this show. Maybe they have a better end in mind that I don't even know about yet, but this really did feel like an end point.
it really did. So, but yeah, guys, that is our overall thoughts on this entire series of Cobra Kai. And yes, we did talk about it, like I said, in spoiler detail.
I'd say.
So,
I mean, we
I
missed some things, but
mean, we didn't try to spoil everything about the show. We
yeah.
tried to point out the more important stuff about it. So,
We're not giving you a play-by-play. Go watch the episodes yourself, you lazy. What do
yep,
you want from us?
yep, exactly. So before we get into our season rankings, we are going to hit the chat here really quick before we get started on that, because I've been ignoring the chat obviously for the past hour, but it is what it is. Movies and Trains says, just finished up a long trip of shopping. Got me nice. Finally
Great.
something that's not VHS. So um, Movies and Trains says he's the badass version of Miyagi. Yep, talking about
Yep.
Johnny. He says Cobra Kai might be my favorite show of all time. It's either that or Stranger Things. It's such a great continuation of the franchise.
Yeah,
I
great
still,
continuation.
I still need to get back onto Stranger Things. I haven't yet.
Where are you at with it right now?
I'm still at episode 5 right now. I haven't
Hmm.
started it yet because I've been again. I did this. Just finished Bob's Burgers until tomorrow is when they start the new season,
Nice.
and I'm on a binge of Yellowstone because the new season comes out this November. So again, I know I'm very behind, but I'll get there. Just keep your worries down. I'll get there. That's all I have to say. I'll get there. Robert, what's up, Robert? Thank you so much for stopping by, man. I don't know if you're still here. Um, no, Johnny spray painted it. He asked for the battle. Yep,
Oh yeah, he did. That's right.
yep,
That's a while ago. I forgot about that.
yep. But yeah, guys, that is our entire series review on Cobra Kai. Now we're gonna rank all 5 seasons one by one. So obviously, how this is gonna work, since Zach is my guest, he is gonna go first on ranking from 5. Obviously, we're gonna take turns like from 5 to 1. So, and if you guys have your season rankings, let us know down in the chat if you guys are still watching live, or if you guys are watching on the replay as well. Let us know down in the comments below. We would love to hear your thoughts. So, Zach, take it away, my man. What do you got for number 5?
Is this worst to best?
Yes, this is gonna be worst to best.
Okay. Number 5. I have season 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put season 4. Good season. Still enjoyed it. Um, I think the finale is the weakest they've had, or I wouldn't say weakest, but the least interesting that they've
Yeah.
had in the series thus far. I liked Johnny and Miguel teaming up and combining Eagle Fang with Miyagi Do, but overall, the season as a whole, as far as a story goes, was the least interesting to me of all the seasons. Still good, but my least interesting.
And you want to kill two birds with one stone? I have season 4 at number 5 as well.
Yeah,
I mean, you pretty much nailed it down to a T. But I mean, I obviously liked it more than you did. But it's just again, I kind of do agree. I didn't really like the way it kind of wrapped up in some ways because I felt like they were just trying to tread water at this point. But I mean, it's still a great season. It's just
yeah,
the the finale was not as good as some of the previous season finales that we've gotten for Cobra Kai. So, but that's just obviously how it is. So yeah, that our number 5 is both season 4. So there
perfect.
you there you go. What do you got for number 4?
I'm gonna go with season 3. Season 3 is a good season as well. I like the way it carries on from season 2. You got the not just the community rallying together and reacting to the events that took place in the season 2 finale. You've got Miguel dealing with consequences and Johnny trying to help him. It does get a little bit darker going into Kreese's backstory with him in Vietnam. There's some darker scenes in there, for me personally. And I think the house fight is awesome, but it gets a little bit too ridiculous for me. Still, it's a lot of fun though. And the season, they're all good seasons. I don't know why I keep having to say that the season's good. I like all these seasons, just to preference that. But
Yeah,
I'm gonna put season 3 at the number 4 spot.
I actually have season 3 a little bit higher on my list. So we'll
Yeah.
we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, but number 4 is actually going to be season 5.
Okay.
Um, Now, again, we just literally just talked about all these seasons one by one. I mean, I pretty much love every single season of Cobra Kai, but again, seasons 4 and 5, I started to kind of get a little bit more critical on because the first 3 seasons were just like I was just in love with this show because I was obviously going off the hype train and everything off the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But 4 and 5 is where I started to get a little bit more critical on it. Again, like we said, the last few minutes of the show were really, really stupid. So that's what kind of bogged it down a little bit for me in score. Not to say I hated it, obviously. I mean, it's just the rest, like everything else surrounding the season, I thought was really well done, and
Yeah.
especially the way they wrap things up between Daniel and Silver, and basically with the dojo of Cobra Kai was so well done. And again, before those last few minutes, it was a great ending to it was a great ending to the series.
Yeah.
So far, what I'm told. So,
Yeah, we'll see what
but
they do in the next season.
yep. But yeah. So you have season 3 at number 4, and I have season 5. What's your number 3?
It's gonna be season 5. Yeah, season 5 is number 3. Like I mentioned before, I loved all the resolutions that we got. I thought it was very satisfying. I loved Terry Silver as the villain. I thought he was very compelling. I loved the dynamics this season with Chosen, Daniel, Johnny, Mike Barnes, Carmen, Amanda, all of them. I really got into the adult storylines this time around, as well as the teenager storylines. I thought it was a beautiful season overall, and I did find the ending very very satisfying. I thought the fight in Terry Silver's house, while ridiculous, was awesome. Very violent for the show. That one guy with his finger that gets cut off, and they do a shot of the blood spurting out. That was so unexpected for this show. That was like a R-rated scene. I loved it so much, and Daniel finally taking down Terry Silver and beating the crap out of him, I found very, very satisfying. So I have season 5 at number 3.
That's a good pick, man. I mean, again, just those last few minutes just were just. Uh,
Yeah.
we'll we'll talk about that later. I'll just say that. Like, but my number 3, I'm actually gonna go with season 2.
Okay.
Um, for me with season 2, again, I love the finale. It's probably, I mean, if we're gonna go by like finales, it has this one easily has the best finale out of all of them because it's so like it felt so real in the moment. It was like it felt so grounded in reality for where it was going. But I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I pretty much like for pretty much through season 2 through like basically 1, 2, and 3, I basically would all give my perfect score because I really don't have any problems with this with the first 3 seasons.
Yeah.
It's just I really had to kind of think about where I would put each season, like because I never really thought about like where I wanted to put each one. So it's like, is it this one, this one, this one, this one? That are like it's like a coin toss in some ways. Like you had to like pick which spot for which one. So,
That's fair. Yeah, that's very fair, man.
but yeah, season 2, it was a great way to continue the show and also kind of to build like more relationships with more characters and seeing like why Cobra Kai has gone in the downward spiral that it has been going to. Like in regards to again, to clarify, as a dojo, not as the show. So if anybody's gonna comment like the show's not going in a downward spiral, it's still awesome. I know. It's just the dojo in general, not the show.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to clarify here. So, and again, I love seeing, of course, all the characters back, and also trying to continue on to Johnny's storyline, basically him becoming a better person than what he was before. So, I mean, again, that's kind of what I love about this show is character redemption. Like, it basically kind of helps you redeem like for characters that you may not have liked in the original film, but kind of builds up to it and actually makes you care for these people.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, I'm gonna go with season 2 for my number 3.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, we're already down to the nitty gritty here. We're already at number 2.
I'm
so,
going
so what's your pick?
season 1. Season 1.
Oh, you want to kill 2 birds with one stone? I have
Yeah.
season 1 as well.
Yeah, season 1 at number 2.
Yep.
I mentioned it before. It started on YouTube Red. You can kind of feel it in a couple of the episodes with some of the at least I can feel some of the acting and stuff. But the show has a good idea of what it wants to be as soon as it starts. Has a great foundation. It sets up the rivalries really well. It sets up all the kid actors, all the teenage characters very well. It was just a very well done season. Like great start to the show.
Yeah, and definitely, like you said, we kind of get to be introduced to new characters that we never thought we would actually start having feelings for. Like
Yeah.
you actually start to really feel for these characters, and it sets up obviously the rivalry between Daniel and Johnny again, but obviously being told from both of their perspectives. So that's honestly something I really liked about it. Like that kind of made me start to fall in love with the show. It wasn't just about fighting or anything like that. It was about the characters, like,
Yep,
and you getting to feel for these characters, like between each of their storylines. So,
absolutely. That's
so
why we
yeah,
care.
so yeah, both of us have season one and number two. So Zach, why don't you tell everybody like why you think season two is the best?
Season two for me, I think, is the best because that's where the show really found its stride. It really found what it would eventually go on to officially be. The rivalries are so well defined throughout the entire season. The way that they just build the tension between not just Johnny and Daniel and the rivaling of their dojos, but the kids in each dojo. The way that their conflicts continue to rise and just build and build and build upon each and every episode, I think is very well written, very well directed, very well acted, and just done overall. The choreography is fantastic. And it all comes to a head in what I believe is the greatest season finale that they've ever had, where you get all these hot tempered conflicts in one building together and they just beat the crap out of each other with a very compelling and emotional ending. I love the character journeys of Robbie and Samantha starting Miyagi Do, and where Cobra Kai is going with Kreese slowly making it more and more aggressive and making these kids the real villains of the show for almost the first time. I thought season two was just phenomenal.
Yeah, and I guess I'll say why season three is my favorite. Again, it
Oh,
was
you had
kind
it
of
way
like,
higher.
yeah, I told you I had it higher. So it kind of felt like a redemption arc in regards to the characters themselves. I mean, because after what happened to Miguel, he was in a coma for the first three episodes, and once he wakes up, Johnny comes back and tries to help him regain his footing. No pun intended.
I see what you did there. That's funny.
Yeah, because obviously he's trying to get him to walk again, and the way and the things that Johnny does to help him get regain for him to walk, like basically doing a bunch of different challenges that we pointed out during the stream, and taking him to a rock concert and trying to and also which helps him get his foot to tap again. And I was like, I think that's what I'm gonna do if I get myself injured to get myself to walk again. I'm gonna go to a rock concert.
Solid logic. Solid logic.
Yep, and obviously we're setting up more of the rivalry between Kreese, Daniel, and Johnny. So I
Yep.
mean, and when we get introduced to Chosen for the first time, I was like, I just loved where this was going, and like when Daniel got to reunite with some old friends back when from the other movies, that's when I really started to feel like the nostalgia power was just like really hitting inside of me, like. So like I felt like the season was more like nostalgia based in my opinion, but I mean you kind of get more into these characters, and especially with that finale, um, some of them actually getting redeemable arcs to which can lead up into season four. Like I love where it goes, and it makes me care about these characters, and it makes me curious to see what they have in store for the next season. So that's why season
Absolutely.
three is my favorite. So yeah, I mean we had the same. I think we have the same number fives and the same number twos. So, but
Well, look
definitely.
at that.
Oh, believe me, sometimes lists can get really, really interchangeable, depending on like how many times you decide to rewatch it. But we'll see.
Oh yeah, I'm sure my list could change too, but at the moment, that's what I've got.
Yeah, because I mean, like, even think about like movie lists. Like your top 10 favorite films of all time can switch. Your favorite movies of
Oh
the
yeah.
year could switch. Like that happens a lot. So, but yeah, guys, that should about do it for this stream for Cobra Kai. I had a ton of fun talking about this show, and I mean, this is not going to be the last time we're going to be talking about TV on my channel because, again, I'm starting to get more into TV shows and start binge watching them a little bit more because right now I'm currently on Yellowstone, and again, still trying to get on the new season of Bob's Burgers, and also I'm actually also starting Breaking Bad for the first time,
Wow.
which
Busy
I,
guy.
yeah, I'm on the only on episode 3 right now, but I'm just gonna say this as of now. I'm really enjoying Breaking Bad. I'm not loving it like everybody else is so far, but again, it's just only the start. So just don't get on me about it, please. Okay? Just Because again, that's how I'm feeling at the time. I might not be on the hype train that everybody else is for every TV show, but that's the magic of film and TV. Like we're not always going to have the same opinions.
It'd be
Like
boring if we did.
yeah, because it'd be like because then we won't really have as much like good like conversations like we do talking about TV shows like Cobra Kai. Because we
Right.
might have issues like in between each season, but I mean, for the first 3 seasons, I really did not have any issues with it because obviously it was kind of helping me regain like for how much I love the Karate Kid as a kid, no pun intended. But yeah, I mean, and it also kind of helps, to kind of relive the memories of your childhood of basically the Karate Kid and everything like that. So,
Absolutely.
but yeah, Zach, it was a great time talking about Cobra Kai.
I had a
Um,
great time, man. Thanks for having me.
hey, no problem. And if you guys want to know where you can find Zach, hey Zach, why don't you let him know? Why don't you let him know, man?
Yeah, I'm on the YouTubes. Zach Milne Talks Movies right down there. Nope, down there. You can just search that in the bar. My channel will pop up. I've also got the Zach Milne Talks Movies podcast. You can find that on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Samsung Podcasts, anywhere that you can find podcasts. You can find that podcast. I think I'm done saying podcast now. And also, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, all the social medias at Zach Milne Talks Movies. So you can find me that way as well.
All right. Yeah, man. I mean, just go subscribe to his channel, you guys. I mean, he makes great content. And always stay tuned for every Wednesday whenever he does his live streams. So, because
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah,
like you
Zach
don't want
Milne
to miss
Talks
it.
Live.
You,
Every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Zach Milne Talks Live.
yep. You guys really don't want to miss that because I mean, I always pop in every time you're live, bro. I always will
You
pop in.
do. It's very, very appreciated.
Of course, man. I mean, why would I not? Like, I mean, that's the reason why I get you on my channel, dude. That's the reason why I get you on my channel because it helps. Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, I want to
Well,
be able
happy to
to
help.
have, and also try to get more people to go subscribe to your channel that haven't already. So,
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. That's
yep.
amazing.
But as for content you can expect from me, definitely expect a Blu-ray haul maybe sometime later this week because already it's already being the end of the month already. Like, oh my god.
Oh my goodness. It's October in like
Yeah.
after next week is oh my goodness.
Yeah, after next week, and that's when you upload your first reaction um to Halloween movies.
Yep, we'll
Or
see. I'm trying.
or when you're planning to.
Yep.
I mean, if you want to announce that if you want to announce that now, you can.
Well, it's not a full announcement. It's just I'm probably going to do some reactions throughout the October to some horror movies I haven't watched before. I'm in the process of finding some to shoot. I want to do weekly. I don't know. It might end up being bi-weekly. I might only get 2 or 3 done. But yeah, it's a work in progress. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. And but I mean, it also kind of depends on your schedule and everything. So like
yeah. Life
with
can be crazy. You never know
with
what's going to pop up.
yeah, with work and everything. So
Yeah.
like, but yeah, I mean, as for content you expect from me, again, Blu-ray haul coming up later this week. I'm planning on going to the movies tomorrow. I don't know what I'm going to go check out. I'm either planning for Don't Worry, Darling or The Woman King. I don't know exactly which one I'm planning for, but and I have some more live reviews coming up. I got to do ones for Dash Cam, Secret Headquarters, Secrets of Dumbledore. Like, there's a lot I have left to do because I'm trying to play a little game of catch up after being gone from YouTube for a couple weeks. Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, it's due to reasons I really don't feel like explaining because I'm gonna depress myself if I do. So
Yeah, keep it to yourself, man. Don't worry about it.
yeah, because it's really stuff you guys do not need to know, to be honest with y'all. So, but yeah, again, please go subscribe to Zach Milne Talks Movies because he has great content and also a great weekly podcast that'll show up every Wednesday, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time. Correct, my man?
That's right, 7:30 p.m. PST.
And that's 9:30 my time. So,
Which, like, again, thank you for joining every stream because I know, like I sometimes that stream goes for like 2 hours, so I know that gets a little late for you. That gets
yeah, because sometimes I
crazy.
mean, I mean, sometimes I don't always type in comments like that late because that's when I start to get really tired.
Oh yeah,
So,
man, that's fine. I'm just
but
happy to have you in there at all.
always, man. But yeah, but of course, you guys should know this is not going to be the last time he's going to be on my channel. He'll be on, like, I don't know when, but we're thinking of having him back on for the Halloween 2018 watch along because he did tell me that he would like to join for that one.
When would that be?
We don't know
What are you guys
yet.
at right now? You guys at 5?
We're at 6 right now. We're gonna be actually doing 6 tonight at 7:30
Okay,
p.m. my time.
nice.
So yeah, we're chugging right along with those watch alongs, man. I mean, because we're doing Curse of Michael Myers tonight, and on Monday we're doing H2O. And again, we don't have a set date for Resurrection or the Rob Zombie movies or 2018 or Kills yet. We'll have set
So
dates whenever.
there's like 4 more to do before 2018's.
Yeah, we got to do Resurrection. We got to do after Curse of Michael Myers. Obviously, we got to do H2O, Resurrection, and both Rob Zombie movies, and then we do 2018. Again, I'll keep you updated on that watch along because I really want you because you wanted to come in. You told me so.
Yeah, that's the only one I've seen. So,
Wow. I mean,
well, I've seen the original 1978 one, and I think I've seen the 5th one. But
yeah, good thing we didn't invite you for the 5th one because we definitely roasted the crap out of it.
that would have been fun.
Yeah, but I mean, if you want to check out the replay, you can. I mean, obviously it's on my channel now. So, but but again, we're just rambling on right now. So, but anyways, guys, go check out Zach Millen Talks Movies, and why not? While you're down there, subscribe to my channel as well because obviously, and also if you hit that notification bell, you can stay up to date on any of my future content. Hit that thumbs up as well, and also share this with your friends because it will help the channel grow if you guys share this stuff with your friends or your family, anything like that. So anyways, guys, stay tuned for tonight, 7:30 my Central Standard Time for the Halloween The Curse of Michael Myers watch along. Obviously, my co-host Fritzky. I am excited to do that one. It's been a little while. So, anyways, guys, we're out of here. Peace.